Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show. It is Friday, October 10th. So I really blew it on Wednesday, October 8th, in that I was traveling to the Bastard Film Encounter. So I was driving during the show, and so I pre-recorded a show and I rendered it out and I was going to upload it, and I was like, oh, like it's tomorrow. It's going to be for tomorrow. And so I put in tomorrow's date. But what I forgot was it was past midnight. And so I totally got that wrong. And so thanks to you folks that reached out and you were like, what's going on? Where is it? Yes, it was me being exhausted. I had packed. I was working on my keynote for Bastard Film Encounter on Wednesday, and so my brain was just mush, and so I accidentally didn't show anything on Wednesday. So sorry about that. And I showed today, or well, I'm pre-recording, so I showed on Thursday, October 9th. I showed what I had intended to show on Wednesday. So, but thankfully, you guys liked that film that I showed, at least one of them, The Shape of a Leaf. So today I'm still in Columbia, South Carolina. The keynote went really well. I'm trying to get some video of it because it was essentially me talking about films and archiving in my life, all through the context of bingo. And so I'm trying to find some footage of that. There was also a drag queen that came on before and after. So it was a really amazing event. It was a great way to kind of kick off the films that we've seen. And oh my gosh, the films that I saw today, films and video, I'm not allowed to talk about them because we're under social media lockdown regarding what is being shown. And that's part of the deal, is it's kind of a safe space where people can share stuff that they're not supposed to share. And so, anyways, amazing stuff. Some of it, if I find it elsewhere, I will try to show it because they showed at least one film that I have a copy of, and so maybe I will show that in the future. Anywho, so I have another list of films that we're going to watch today. And these, again, are from the Oregon Archive, which means these came from Pittsburgh. And so there was a period of time early in the lunchtime streaming show where I was showing a lot of films made by U.S. Steel or about steel. And so this first film is Steel by Stopwatch. The next one is The Very Idea. And then finally, a film from our collection called Human Aggression, and features Stanley Milgram, who, of course, did the obedience experiment, and he actually talks about the obedience experiment in this film, even though this film was made in the 70s. So, anyways, I will try to get some pictures. Maybe I'll talk about some of the bingo things that I did probably next week, but thanks for watching. I talked about doing the streaming show during my keynote and about how much I liked everybody that watched, and I've been talking to people about the community of you folks commenting and appreciating these films, and also being supportive of each other. And I very much love that, and we all love that, the fact that you folks tune in all the time, even though I make mistakes all the time. You guys are very understanding and patient with me, so thank you for that. So anyways, have a great weekend. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and you can support us via ko-fi.com/avgeeks or patreon.com/avgeeks, or via the super thanks button. But anyways, everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Take care and enjoy.
And he'll be ready to tap in 19 minutes. What's next?
402 killed fine grain, same as this one.
Okay. Metal here?
Yes?
What's the silicon?
120.
What's the manganese?
60.
Iron temperature, 2,500 degrees. You'll need 310,000 of hot metal, 135,000 of scrap, 30,000 of burnt lime, and 1,000 of spar.
Okay. Hot metal, man. We'll need 310,000 of hot metal for the next heat.
310,000? Okay.
Larry car operator, we need 30,000 lime, 1,000 spar for the next charge.
30,000 lime, 1,000 spar. Okay.
Scrap charger, we need 135,000 scrap for the next charge.
135,000 pounds of scrap.
Okay, next charge is all ready to go.
Okay, let's tap this one.
230-ton heats of high-quality steel in less than an hour, around the clock, 24 hours a day. This is basic oxygen steel making, newest, fastest, most efficient of all steel making processes. As originally developed in Europe, the process was suitable only for limited production applications, 30 tons per heat. This was the first generation basic oxygen furnace. Jones and Laughlin engineers built the first of the second generation basic oxygen furnaces, known in the industry as BOFs. These are the 80-ton furnaces at Aliquippa. Successful production experience at Aliquippa made it possible to design and build the first of the third generation of BOFs, the 230-ton furnaces at Cleveland. The BOF process is entirely different from the open hearth. It requires no external fuel source to carry on the reaction. The vessel in which refining occurs is pear-shaped, open at the top. It is mounted on trunnions so it can tilt to receive its charge of scrap and hot metal. After it is charged, the furnace is returned to the upright position. Then an oxygen lance is lowered to a predetermined position over the bath. Oxygen roars through the lance at supersonic speed, 13,000 cubic feet per minute. As the carbon in the iron begins to react with the oxygen, carbon monoxide is generated. When it reaches the atmosphere at the mouth of the furnace, it burns to carbon dioxide, producing a brilliant orange flame. Soon after the oxygen blow begins, fluxing materials, principally burnt lime, are added. As oxidation proceeds, a liquid slag forms on the surface of the bath. Within about 15 minutes, the carbon content of the charge is down to about 2%. At 26 minutes, oxidation is complete. The carbon is down to the desired level, and the heat is ready to be tapped. Steel flows from the tap hole in the side of the furnace. The slag remains on top. When all of the steel has been tapped, the furnace is rotated to the other side and the slag is poured off. In the older, more costly open hearth process, even in the most up-to-date shops where oxygen is used to speed the reaction, The best heat time is several hours longer. When the decision was made to adapt the basic oxygen process to full-scale production, 230-ton heats with less than an hour between heats, a plant had to be designed that would accomplish miracles of materials handling. The production floor was engineered cleanly with plenty of space for easy, safe movement. Above the production floor, conveyor belts carry fluxing materials to storage bins. While one heat is in progress, the Larry car deposits flux for the next heat in a chute over the furnace. The heart of the operation is these two furnaces. Two because one can be relined and serviced while the other is operating. The operating furnace receives first its charge of scrap, brought by a self-propelled scrap charger of a special design. Hot metal arrives from the blast furnaces in a bottle car known as a submarine ladle. It pours its contents into the charging ladle, which rests on a scale that weighs the charge. The furnace tilts to receive the hot metal, brought by crane from the pouring platform. The water-cooled oxygen lance is lowered to a point above the surface of the bath, ready for the blow. In actual operation of the BOFs at J&L, electrostatic precipitators prevent smoke and fumes from entering the atmosphere. Inside the shop at Cleveland, basic oxygen steelmaking follows a split-second schedule. While one heat is in progress, the furnace charge for the next is made up. The secret is the computer developed by Jones and Laughlin research scientists. The general foreman feeds into the computer the composition and temperature of the hot metal, the desired tap temperature, and other process conditions. The computer calculates the amount of scrap, hot metal, and burnt lime. The melter orders the materials from the various stations.
135,000 pounds of scrap for the next charge.
Stewart, take out about 5,000. Okay.
Okay.
And the precise amount of burnt lime is discharged into the hopper above the furnace.
Flux is in the chute.
The molten iron, correct in weight and temperature, is poured from the submarine car into the charging ladle. The clock on the master control panel signals the start of the heat. Time, 11 o'clock. scrap charged in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Pouring hot metal. Pouring hot metal.
At 3 minutes and 24 seconds, begin hot metal charge. Three minutes and 55 seconds. Hot metal charged. Prepare to lower lance.
On the hood. Bringing the lance down to 100.
Okay, bring her down. Take it slow. Hold it. You got it. 100 inches.
4 minutes and 39 seconds after we started to charge the furnace, the oxygen blow begins. During the course of the blow, the operator checks instruments that record the progress. The oxygen flow rate, the temperature of the cooling water. After 26 minutes, the blow comes to the end point. The flame changes intensity and color, signaling that oxidation has been completed. "27 minutes after the blow started, the oxygen is cut off and the lance is withdrawn. At the completion of the blow, workmen take the temperature of the steel.
Temperature 2,900. 2,900.
The steel is at the correct temperature and the order is given to tap it. 34 minutes and 8 seconds after the furnace charge began, the steel is tapped. In just over 40 minutes from the beginning of the cycle, tapping is completed. This is basic oxygen furnace steel making, a triumph of engineering, research, and production know-how. The third generation BOF furnaces at Cleveland mark the beginning of a new era in steel making. But at Jones and Laughlin, engineering and research already are looking forward to the fourth and even the fifth generations. In an experimental furnace built to scale, scientists are studying furnace geometry, refractories, lance design, process changes. As furnace size increases, new problems of fluid dynamics, kinetics, and heat transfer are encountered and have to be solved. This miniature BOF duplicates the operating model even down to the recording dials. With it, Jones and Laughlin is working toward a better understanding of the process as a basis for improvements in the design of the furnace and for possible changes in the computer model. The results may lead to still more rapid refining of iron into steel in the operating BOFs, where steel making today is truly steel by stopwatch.
This is the story of a haunted house. At least it used to be haunted. How do I know? Well, you see, this is our house. Mine and my husband and little daughters. Oh, there were no spooks clanking around at midnight, but it was haunted all the same. Haunted by the ghost of my husband's Uncle Henry, who passed the house on down to us. Now, let me take you back a few months, and I'll show you what I mean. Kathy's trying to sleep.
I have to make some noise. I can't drive these nails with a sponge.
Well, you've repaired that old relic of a table so many times. I think it'd be easier to throw it out and buy a new one.
Look. I know we've been all over this before. And I know this table is an old relic. That's why I like it around. Uncle Henry made this with his own hands. How many families do you know of that can boast of a homemade table that's still doing active service after 43 years?
Active service? The only thing active about that table is the way it collapses.
Don't worry about it. It's as good as new. This time she's really fixed.
Well, I'd still prefer a new table. Say something that brought us up even with the Spanish-American War, hmm?
Oh, Jane. Why, look at the quality in this table. Look at that wood. Look at the workmanship. Why, Uncle Henry would turn over in his grave if he thought we would give this old table away. Besides, I fixed this so it's just exactly like that.
See what I mean? Uncle Henry was always threatening to turn over in his grave if I so much as dreamed of changing anything around the house. Uncle Henry built this house and built it to last, as George will tell you at the drop of a loose doorknob. And whenever we had company, George would conduct a regular cook's tour through the house, pointing out Uncle Henry's handiwork. Solid oak, solid mahogany. What workmanship. All with a low bow to old Uncle Henry's picture hanging on the wall.
Look at the size of this kitchen, Joe. Big. They don't build them like this anymore. Me, I like plenty of room to move around in.
Well, how does your wife feel about it with all those extra footsteps?
Who, Jane? She loves it. Say, have you ever seen our bathroom?
No, George, I haven't.
Well, come on up. I want to show you the wonderful plumbing fixtures Uncle Henry put in there.
Okay, let's have a look.
And Joe,
Same way in the bathroom. Lots of room in there, too. Big, heavy, substantial fixtures. Like the first armored tank and just about as stylish. Good, solid, substantial walls. Not a crack anywhere. Good, solid, substantial lumber. Don't see carpentry work like that around your door frames. Not these days. And don't you dare be thankful about it either. Not when George is around. Then one day came the crisis. I was late with my housework and was trying to get things in some kind of order before George came home from the office. But it was an uphill job all the way. Then suddenly...
Jane! Jane!
Up here!
Oh, wait to see what I found, dear. Jane, wait to see the bargain I picked up on the way home. A self-setting wrench. You know what I paid for it?
George, I want to talk to you about the bathroom.
Yeah, but let me show you how this thing works.
George, I want to talk to you about the bathroom.
Bathroom?
The bathroom. And when we finish talking about the bathroom, we're going to talk about the kitchen.
Oh, well, there's nothing like planning a conversation on. That's what I always say.
Well, we might as well start with the bathtub.
The tub?
Now, for one thing, did you ever realize that any time I want to give little Kathy a bath or take a bath myself, in order to clean the tub out, I've got to swish all the water uphill to get it to drain?
Well, that's funny. I never have that trouble.
That is funny. Maybe that's why I have so much trouble cleaning it out after you've used it.
Well, Jane, we'll just put a couple of blocks under the back legs.
Oh, George. And the shower. Shower, what am I saying? That torture chamber. Now, just take a look at the washstand. All the porcelain's chipped off. The faucets are loose. And the drain doesn't even hold water. The whole thing looks like a refugee from a museum. And in order to get to the towel rack, you have to first bump your toes against the hamper. I haven't finished yet. Come into the kitchen. Now, how would you like to work in surroundings like these all day? Inspiring, isn't it? This dear old sink were any lower, I'd have to wash the dishes on my knees. And the stove. Now, if it were any further away from the sink, I'd need a bicycle to get around. And the rest of it is this junk. Looks as if the movers had come right in and dumped it and ran. Can't say I'd blame them. I'd like to run myself. But then I might trip over this antique table of yours and break it all up.
All right, Jane. If it'll make you any happier, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll rebuild this table and bring it up to date.
The table?
Yeah.
Well, bully for you, Mr. Hayes. If you have any nails left over, maybe you'll redo the refrigerator for me someday.
Oh, now, Jane, look.
Oh, George, I have looked. I've looked at Madge Cummings' new kitchen and bathroom, and the darling new bathroom that Sue Winters put in. And Ginny Adams, she has a new dishwasher with a disposal unit and a new refrigerator. Then I've got to come home and look at this.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Looks like you've been looking at this.
Well, what if I have?
Come to your Crane plumbing dealer for ideas.
Well, I realize that Uncle Henry would never approve, and I don't care. The revolution has come. You and I are going to start remodeling our kitchen and bath right now. I hadn't intended to be quite so hard on poor George, but I was simply fed up. Fed up with those two antiquated, depressing old rooms. So next weekend, we started planning our changes. We began with the bathroom.
Well, the first thing I better do is start getting rid of the old fixtures, huh?
Well, but George, we haven't even ordered the new ones yet. Besides, I want some kind of an idea to follow, plan of some sort.
Why, there's plenty of good ideas around, Jane. You're running them every day. I tell you what you do. You just look through the magazines and newspapers. When you come across something that you really like, why, then we'll go down to the plumbing store and price them.
Well, but darling, now wouldn't it be better to call the plumber in right now? He'd have some good suggestions.
You'll get plenty of ideas, Jane. In the meantime, I'm going to start taking the old tub out.
So, while George went to work on the bathtub, I began poring over magazines, newspapers, and anything else I could get my hands on. Oh, I saw lots of nice arrangements, lots of practical layouts, except that somehow, well, they just didn't seem to fit in our place. A window was in the wrong place. A wall should be here instead of there. A door opened the wrong way. The fixtures were never where they should be. After a lot of concentrated searching, the only thing we'd accomplished was to disconnect the tub. Everything was the same as before, except that now we couldn't take a bath. That was the turning point. George had asked our neighbor, Joe Kendall, to help him carry the tub outside. I was getting ready to spread newspapers over the hall carpet when Joe said,
George, this is a pretty big job. I hope you've got a good plan to follow.
Plan? I got all kinds of plans.
Oh, God. See, how many can you follow all at once?
Well, I'm a guy that sort of likes to feel his way around, one thing at a time.
Well, how's it going to look when it's all finished?
Oh, will you see it?
Yeah, I should live so long. Don't you see, George, if you go along like this, your bathroom will be torn up for weeks, months. You'll never know exactly where you're going. You won't know.
Oh, I'll figure something out. Well, you did all right when you remodeled.
Yeah, but I had some ideas. Expert ideas. No, I don't go for this hit-or-miss stuff. I had a plan.
You mean you had someone make up a design for you?
Yeah. I had Ben Crawford, the plumber, help me.
Yeah?
Sure. See, George, I'm old-fashioned. For plumbing, I go to a plumber. And for plumbing ideas, I go to a plumber, too. Well, this Crawford has really got something on the ball. He's got stuff down there that would knock your eye out. And he's got ideas, too. Not just what tub to buy or what washstand to use, but where to put them. How to arrange the rooms so that they look good and still work out for the family.
So So I think he's pretty good, eh?
Sure. You want to see some of those houses he's worked on. Well, the Eastgate subdivision. Ben put in every bit of heating and plumbing on those places.
I've seen some of them. They're beautiful.
Well, I'll think it over. In the meantime, let's get this tub out of here, huh?
Well, now, wait a minute. Before you do that, let me put newspapers down so you won't track up the rug any more than you have to.
Get a hold of that in there. Okay, pal. Hi. Woohoo! All right, now start turning. Okay. Fingers all right?
A little more to the left there.
All right.
Oop, easy, boy. Easy does it.
You gonna clear the wash basin?
Yeah. A little higher in your end, huh, George?
All right.
Oh, boy. Easy now.
Jane! For the love of Pete, what a time to read a newspaper.
Oh, excuse me. No, go on right ahead. It's all right.
Think this thing is made of whipped cream? This is really heavy, boy. Take it easy. Joe, hold it.
Okay, boy.
Easy now. Look out. Don't bump those railings. Ooh. Step down. Oh. Rest a minute. You all right?
No.
I got in the car and drove up to Ben Crawford's place on Market Street. Oh, he has a beautiful store.
Good morning, Mrs. Hayes.
Good morning. My goodness, you have a beautiful place here.
You like it?
Well, it's not much like our old ideas of what a plumber's place would look like, is it?
Oh, if you want the old-time atmosphere, the shop is out back.
Well, that's not really what I'm interested in. What I'm after is a new bathroom and kitchen. The only trouble is, I just don't seem to be able to settle on any one practical idea.
Well, that can be a problem, all right. There are a lot of fine plans to...
Trouble is, which is the best plan for my home? You've been out there enough, Mr. Crawford, to remember it. Maybe you can help me find the
For me to drop out there and look the place over more.
Could you do that?
Well, I have some layouts and plans right here. Why don't we look some of them over so you'll have something to think about?
That'd be wonderful.
Fine. There's a sketchbook of ideas that I'd like you to see. Right over here at the Idea Center.
Oh, Mr. Crawford, I wonder if you'd do me a favor. Don't mention to my husband I went someplace else for help.
Well, I'm afraid that's going to be a little difficult.
Difficult? Why? Why, it's George.
The word to you.
Let me handle this whole thing. Say, did you hear anything? Nothing like a man turning over in his grave, huh?
Oh, it's you.
Hi.
So you caught me. Well, what kind of ideas this guy has?
Well, go over and let me see, too.
Yeah, you know, Uncle Henry always said...
George, let's not... Right. They were beautiful. Perfect dreams. Page after page, such beautiful bathrooms. Kitchens to fit almost any home. Would fit our home. A kitchen where I understand you install all the fixtures, Crawford.
Be glad it was on the two plans you selected. You might take them along and look them over.
Worries were over. Here were years of experience, taking our problems in hand, just as easy as you'd...
You sure this baseboard business does the job all right?
I'm telling you. And another thing, if I were you, and then over here, just a man, why does this have to go?
Now,
I'll show you something. You ever see workmanship like that? Well, I mean, if it's something special you want to keep.
well, it's something special, all right, but we don't want to keep it.
Well, my uncle's with his own hands. It's just that I hate to see old things like this. On the other hand, Mr. Hayes, there's some fine things. Look here. You see what I mean? See how those towel and linen shelves fit right in? That is a fine old cabinet.
That's all right, Mr. Way. As Ben measured and made, I could just see that dream kitchen of mine taking shape. He showed us the best arrangements for them and where to put them. He suggested a garbage disposal unit. Well, here again, the heating was a problem. But Ben advised putting it up the old baseboard at the ceiling idea. And he also recommended that because of all the space I had, bring up the laundry equipment from that damp, dingy basement. This made my kitchen a place where I could do all my chores. And all the time he talked, he kept saying, my experience has been, And George and I knew that here was someone who knew what he was talking about. And when he to show the variety of products from which we could do the fixtures for our rooms. Well, after the layouts for the 2 rooms were decided on, and after we had carefully studied the product booklets he had left with us, the next step was to make a final selection of the fixtures and appliances themselves. Here again, Mr. Crawford was a wonderful help with his ideas.
Now, this new Marshall model lavatory would be a good bet. It's a smartly styled countertop lavatory with the trim mounted on a bevel control panel for maximum convenience. Notice the large semi-oval basin tastes most. This is the Drexel closet, a very good seller. A lot of people like this model. It has a strong, vigorous cleansing action, and the price is reasonable. We've sold a lot of these.
Then after we'd seen the fixtures, Ben drew up a list of what we'd need, gave us an idea on delivery, and told us how much it would cost. Well, you don't get things for nothing these days, you know. Ben's prices were most reasonable, but it was a pretty big job we had in mind. And, well, it did add up. But, as Ben said
It's going
himself,
to cost a lot of money. Sure, it's a big investment. But think how it increases the resale value of your house, plus the comfort and convenience you'll enjoy. Now, if you'd care to finance the deal, I could work it out with the bank for you on a monthly payment basis. Then you can enjoy it as you pay for it. 5, 13, 20, 1 naught, 40. How many things do I have to give up this summer to afford this? Can I afford it? What will Uncle Henry think? For that matter, what would Jane think? Can I afford to do without this kitchen?
can you afford to do without Jane?
Okay, a deal.
George! Oh, you are a darling. A few days later, the work began. Miss Crawford's assistant got the old fixtures out in jig time, and the only thing that held up the work at all was George trying to tear out the old linen cabinet.
Well, hi, Ben. Back door was open, so I thought I'd see if you'd ready for my men to begin the installation. This is a tougher job than I thought. If I were you, I'd use a pinch bar on that wood. You'll just break that screwdriver. Don't worry about me. Pinch bar, you say, huh? Well, I haven't got one. Got one in the back of the car. Wait a second, I'll bring it in to you. There we are. There's one there for keeps.
When Uncle Henry built anything, boy, he built it to last.
Those moldings in there are going to give you some trouble, too.
Probably as strong as the rocket roller.
Well, hope it doesn't take too long. We're all set to start.
You know, I hate to admit this,
Oh, look like $1 million.
but I hate to be the one that's holding up.
Well, I could get the job done for you. Wouldn't cost much money, and the fellow's a good workman.
Yeah, you mean sort of take the whole thing off my hands, huh?
Sure thing. I'll handle the carpentry work, flooring, cabinets, and so on. Oh, I know a fella gets a kick out of working on his own place like I do. But where there's so much to do and so little time.
Yeah, well, I'll think about it.
Okay. So long, Mr. Hayes.
So long, Ben.
He thought about it all right. And once he got used to the idea of strange hands, George decided to let Mr. Crawford take over the whole thing. The way the new bathroom took shape, magic. The new tub and shower, the closet, the new lavatory, the towel rack, soap dishes, the fine... A dream come true. Using the very same space, Mr. Crawford had transformed it into a beautiful, attractive room that included the dressing table and counter space I'd always wanted. And then he took his ideas, his experiences, his workmanship into the kitchen. More magic, more dreams coming true. Ben said once that no two kitchens are alike. Each one presents its own problems. But the way he took the basic ideas in his store and adapted them to our particular needs, Well, that was something to see. The kitchen I'd seen in the book had now... Ben Crawford had given us a kitchen and utility room that was beautiful, yet so efficient and convenient that the usual house... That's the very idea for us when I saw this kitchen in Ben's idea book. Finished, we asked our neighbors, the Kendalls, to come over and see it.
I've never seen a kitchen so beautiful.
Well, in a way, we owe it all to you, Joe.
Say, that's right. You're the one that put us on to Ben Crawford.
Job for you.
Oh, we're really happy with it. Of course, we haven't got the open space we had in the old one.
No, but I have more room to work in without running up the mileage every time I want a can of water. Wide open spaces are all right, out on the prairies. But I'd trade it in any day of the week for a convenient kitchen and a laundry that didn't make me think it was in an old... Then we...
Remember the old stuff we used to have in here? Good, solid stuff. But you know... What's the matter with you, Jane?
Except that if the sun comes up tomorrow morning in the west, it won't surprise me he had gone. George and I headed upstairs to bed.
Say, Jane.
Hmm?
You know...
No, what, dear?
Oh, I was just wondering.
No, George. Not this staircase.
Why not?
Well, but Uncle Henry built it with his own hands.
So what? What Uncle Henry was that he must have had some ideas before he started building. Well, I've got some too. Or at least I know where I can go and get them from trained experts. And another thing. You know that extra closet we have in the hall? What a powder room that was. Why don't we talk to Crawford about it someday? See what he has to suggest.
Why...
Sound 1A, Dr. Stanley Milgram, Human Aggression, revised.
These teenagers belong to a gang, the Young Skulls. In this film, we will follow the gang through an ordinary day and see what part aggression plays in the lives of its members. For aggression is not something apart from life, but is deeply interwoven with it. We will examine modern psychological theory and research that tells us where aggression comes from, how it is shaped, and what purposes it serves. Aggression is not just horsing around. Aggression is not just an emotion such as anger. No, aggression is an action taken with the purpose of inflicting harm. People may act aggressively against other people, property, or symbols. Aggression often results from a specific provocation, such as a frustration, invasion of territory, or a threat. But the nature of the triggering incident is not always clear. Perhaps the gang was splashed by the car and is now retaliating. Perhaps it is a symbol of something they resent. Aggression is present in all animal species and is as much a product of evolutionary development as wings, claws, and eyes. It is present because it is indispensable for survival. Animals fight to establish a dominance hierarchy, a pecking order which determines which male has priority access to food and to females. Animals fight to protect territory. One of these fiddler crabs has invaded the territory of the other and is attacked. And animals attack other animals for food, but almost always their prey is of another species. Aggression is often expressed as a threat rather than a consummated act. Threats are often enough to decide who will back down and who will prevail. In this gang, an aggressive aura sends an intimidating message to those around it, a message that the gang is to be respected and not messed with.
Right? So you tell your Supreme, if he want his shit back, he come down here, and if my boys want, if any of y'all want to fuck this dude up, y'all got my permission, all right? Y'all got my permission. He told me he quit, and he wearing Blue Angels colors, all right? I'm telling you, man. If y'all want to fuck him up, go ahead. Hey, bro, man.
Territoriality plays its part in provoking human aggression. Here, a member of a competing gang, the Blue Angels, is challenged as he attempts to enter the turf of the Young Skulls. The Young Skulls grab the colors of the Blue Angels.
And they'll get the colors back. But your prayers might not come back. You want it? All right, man.
Through the use of symbols and language, humans engage in a process of pseudo-speciation, treating the outgroup as if it were another species, treating symbolic distinctions as if they were biological ones, then acting as predators toward them. Conflicts over territory are not limited to lower-class youths. Middle-class residents of this Brooklyn neighborhood are equally willing to fight against the incursion of outsiders. More generally, any challenge to the accepted social order may trigger an aggressive response. One rule of social life is that when standing on line, it is first come, first serve. Here, a Confederate will ignore the rule. The violation of the rule provokes aggressive gestures and threats.
I don't even know these two suckers, man. They never come
Dominance and the challenge to dominance plays a role also in human aggression. The lad sitting on the ground has challenged the hierarchy of the gang.
He's your assistant supreme now. Understand? Understand what I'm saying? Get on punishment? I never known a skull to get on punishment. You have sold your soul to the devil. This is the devil, and we are his demons. So you in hell now, and you must worship. And you gonna burn. You understand? And he must worship us.
The leadership reasserts its power by forcing him to undergo a ritualized beating.
Oh my God! Wait!
It's not hard to find instances of aggression in the real world, but the problem for the psychologist is to find a way to study aggressive behavior in a precise, exact way in laboratory situations where he has some control and where the person who's the object of aggression, the target of aggression, does not actually get hurt. I wrestled with this problem for a long time, and in 1960, a simple solution occurred to me, and that is a subject could be allowed to administer a graded series of shocks to another person. I drew a set of sketches of a shock machine. It was later to be called an aggression machine. I moved on to use this machine for the study of obedience, but other investigators, Arnold Buss, for example, used the machine to study aggression per se. He showed us that men will administer higher levels of shock than women. Leonard Berkowitz studied the effects of frustration and the effects of arousal, of imitation of aggressive action using this machine. I think the machine was quite important for psychology because it allowed us to study aggressive behavior in the laboratory. Of course, there are many shortcomings of this kind of study. It's somewhat sterile, it's a little bit artificial, and so we also have to turn to the real world to study the dynamics of aggression. And in the real world, young males of many species engage in aggressive play. But the high arousal and competitiveness of aggressive play may easily explode into authentic aggression. Or sometimes the chance presence of an object may convert exuberance into a genuinely destructive act. Any simple object may be used as a weapon.
Nearly chopped off his toes.
Weapons serve as buffers, They create distance between the aggressor and his victim, and thus weaken inhibitions against aggressive action.
Get out. $6 million man.
Each member of the gang occupies a certain status, high to low, and the booze is passed around according to this hierarchy.
All the time. All I hear, man, is that the dudes go to the MC boots.
MC boots.
You got a pair? You got a pair of MCs on?
You got combats.
That's why you got it wrong, because you're not.
But the low man is nonetheless frustrated when he fails to wet his throat with even a drop. In the late 30s, a group of Yale psychologists proposed that frustration always leads to aggression, and that all aggression is the outcome of some prior frustration. This frustration-aggression hypothesis has been criticized for being overstated, but it may yet have some validity.
Yo, man. Fuck doing myself. Fuck, man. Fuck at it. Fuck at it.
A second hypothesis concerns the displacement of aggression. When the frustrated person cannot strike back against the source of frustration, aggression will be displaced onto other objects or persons. Milgram and Shotland demonstrated in a recent experiment that frustration definitely provokes aggressive action. In this experiment, subjects come to a gift distribution center in order to receive a radio they had been promised. In the control condition, a sign on the office counter politely states that the office is temporarily closed because of illness, and the subject was to kindly pick up his radio in another room of the building. A minor inconvenience, perhaps, but no real frustration, since the radio would soon be in hand. Among the office furnishings, a charity display for Project Hope, with several dollar bills visible through the Lucite Bank. The behavior of all subjects was observed by concealed video cameras. The second condition was identical to the first, with one exception. A severe frustration was introduced. The subject was brusquely informed that he would not receive the radio that had been promised. After severe frustration, subjects broke into the charity box 3 times more often than in the non-frustrating condition. Frustration is more likely to produce aggression when it is perceived as illegitimate frustration, as when this girl tries to usurp the man's right to the phone without any particular justification. The frustration seems more legitimate in the case of a pregnant woman and is thus responded to with greater equanimity. Illegitimate frustration. The reason the watch isn't ready is not perceived as valid, and frustration leads to a blow-up.
I'm sorry, sir. This is not ready right now.
Why not?
We had something more important to do.
What's more important than my watch?
Sir, it's not ready.
I don't care. Just give me the watch. I'll take it someplace else and get it fixed right. That's all. Just give me the watch.
That's not company policy.
I don't care what company policy is. I want the watch and I want it now!
Legitimate frustration. The frustration is just as real, but a death in the jeweler's family makes it legitimate.
No, I'm sorry. Your watch isn't ready yet. You see, the repairman had a death in his family.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, a couple of days then?
Yes, for certain, sir.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Sigmund Freud said that aggression is inevitable in human life. It is an instinct that can never be eradicated, but can only be channeled into more or less constructive lines. Yet modern psychology believes that its expression, shaping, and strength may well depend on social learning.
Yeah, she punishes me. You know, hitting me, you know, locking me up and all that. My father doesn't live with me. When I was a little kid, that was the last time I seen him.
When I get punished, I gotta be upstairs at 9 o'clock. And when I get hit with a stick.
My mother used to beat me up like crazy. And used to hit me every day. My father used to chase me all around the block barefooted.
The child grows into the man and perpetuates the tradition of violence. And the fights among men do not resemble the sterile aggression we see in the movies. In real fights, people grapple, scrape, and hurt each other.
The Gestapo's originally came back from Germany. Back in the Nazi days, the Gestapo's ones used to do the torture to the Americans. So that's what we got in our gangs too, a Gestapo. For those who do wrong...
Brutal parents may serve as models of aggression, but the models may also be found in history. Here, an especially aggressive segment of the gang models itself after the infamous Gestapo.
Gestapo do the first hit before anybody...
Many social psychologists think that the mass media, and television in particular, teach children to be aggressive. In an experiment carried out by Bandura and Walters, children were shown a film of an adult who repeatedly pummeled and struck an inflatable doll. The frequency with which violence is depicted on television is very high. By the time a child has grown to adolescence, he has probably seen more than 10,000 acts of violence depicted on the TV screen. In the second part of the experiment, the children were allowed to play with the same doll shown in the film. Children who saw the film struck the doll more often and more vigorously than a control group of children who had not seen the film. Thus, aggression shown in the mass media may serve as a model for social learning.
Hey, yo, they're taking one of our boys, man. For no reason. Hey, big man, what's happening?
There is a special group of people whose job is to deal with aggression that has gotten out of hand, the police. Psychologist Morton Bard has set up a program to train the police in psychological principles of intervention.
When people are at each other in conflict situations, it is the police who are called upon to serve as a third party, to bring that dispute to some constructive outcome. My research has been concerned with interpersonal conflict management, with providing the police with the skills and the competence to bring about these resolutions. Now, I think it should be noted that the closer and more intimate a human relationship, the more likely it is that there be an aggressive interaction.
I take my bow and arrow.
I take my slingshot.
Yeah,
what about the police? How do you get along with the police?
We get along as the way same they get along with us, man. Terrible.
If you put the third party in the position of getting between disputing parties, so to speak, you expose that person to the most volatile of human aggressive motives. On arriving at the scene of a dispute, the very first thing that the officer must do is to identify possible sources or weapons of opportunity, to secure the premises, to separate the participants. Once having done that, he has to then ascertain the facts. He has to participate in a process of gathering information, to know how to gather the information, how to process that information, how to develop a plan about what he has gathered, and then to make a move in implementing that plan.
Throughout this film, we have shown how aggression is not simply a property of an isolated person, but is interwoven with the life of a group. An experiment by Milgram measures the degree to which group pressure induces aggressive acts. 4 people come to a laboratory to take part in a study on the effects of punishment on learning. The man with the mustache will administer electric shocks. He is the only real subject. The others are Confederates. He is the learner and will appear to receive electric shocks whenever he makes an error in his lesson. The shocks may vary from 15 to 450 volts. The experimenter explains that the shock actually used is to be the lowest shock level suggested by any of the 3 teachers on each trial.
Blue. Boy, girl, grass, hat.
Incorrect. The correct answer is blue girl.
Incorrect answer.
As I mentioned earlier, you 3 must decide the punishment to be administered.
Let's try 15 volts.
Okay, 15 volts.
15 volts.
The 2 Confederates raise the shock level 1 step on each trial. The subject can hold down the shocks to 15 volts, or he can be influenced by the others.
Let's try 165 volts.
165, okay.
I think that's too much.
The punishment administered will be the lowest level suggested by any of you 3.
I keep it down to 150.
Incorrect.
About a quarter of the subjects resist the group and hold the shock to the lowest levels on the generator. Half the subjects are somewhat influenced and hold the shock to intermediate levels.
270.
Another quarter completely capitulates to the group.
Incorrect.
300.
300.
300.
Incorrect.
330.
330.
330.
Incorrect.
375.
375.
375.
White. Cloud, horse, rock, house.
Incorrect. The correct answer is white horse.
450.
450 volts.
Society knows that aggression is too important to be left to laboratory subjects or to brawling adolescents. It creates special institutions for the organized infliction of harm on an enemy.
Our life is, you know, in a way, it's kind of really rough because once we get busted, society always got that mark on us, and they never let go. See, they never can give us a break. They even scared to teach us law because they know we'll get around it.
Gave us already, man.
You know, we want to start getting a little bit of roots in society, but they don't want to give us the break. So if they don't want to give us the break, we go out there on our own and get ourselves together.
If they mess with us, we're gonna scratch their eyes out.
Yeah.
Take my bean shooter with me.
The group not only pressures its members to act aggressively, it provides justifications that excuse such aggression. Individual excuses appear more legitimate when they are accepted and ratified by the group. As psychologists, we have studied some of the origins and conditions of human aggression. But in the end, it is not enough that we understand. We must use our knowledge to eliminate the imperfections of society and deprive aggression of its fertile soil. Former Attorney General Ramsey Clark sums it up this way.
The 3 things a society must work at constantly if it wishes to reduce aggression among its people are first health, the mental and physical health, the possibility of limiting aggression without major efforts there, particularly in mass urban technologically advanced society, are very, very limited. Second, the total environment in which people have to live. It must be clean and quiet and decent and peaceful. We've in so many ways through our environment glorified violence, it would seem. But finally, and so often missed, is the factor of justice. The idea that however healthy or however good the environment is, people will not be aggressive toward each other when they perceive injustice. is wrong. Aristotle told us that the chief and universal cause of the revolutionary impulse is the desire for equality, and I think that will always be true both in interpersonal and in international relations. We will not be happy with our lot. We will not be resigned to poverty. We will not be resigned to disadvantage while it exists, and therefore justice must prevail if the humans are not to be violent and aggressive toward one another.